Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my November 2017 Cancer horoscope forecast, and yes, this does apply and pertain to the Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Well, anyway, people, the first thing is, as far as November goes, the Sun will be in Scorpio from the 1st to the 22nd, and the 5th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Cancer. So, during this time, Cancer might put a strong focus on hobbies, creative endeavors, and love, and do this with a lot of Scorpio-like passion and intensity. There's not going to be, if Cancer is unattached and is looking for something connected with love, well, it's obviously, I think it could be something that will be something not superficial. And it could be, too, that there might be a focus on enjoyment that is associated with something Scorpio-like, such as astrology, the occult, supernatural, getting to the bottom of things. It could even be going around doing, using a metal detector to find things, uncovering items, so things of that nature. So, anyway, as far as November goes, the Sun will be in Scorpio. The Sun will be in Sagittarius from the 22nd to the 30th. And the 6th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Cancer. So at this time for Cancer, this could be a time perhaps where there will be this strong focus on work-related matters, on health, and really doing this perhaps with a lot of this Sagittarius-like expansiveness and exuberance and enthusiasm. So it could even be doing something Sagittarius-like that might be work-related. Could be doing some work with horses, working as a professor, doing something with religion or theology, even something sports related, or incorporating sports into the daily routine. And anyway, the full moon will be in Taurus on November 4th. So the 11th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Cancer. So at this time, it could be that Cancer might complete something that may have been done with a lot of Taurus patience, persistence, and perseverance. And it could be a time, too, where Cancer might become full or be tired, maybe of a situation with a friend, tired of that bull, so to speak. I'd say no pun intended, but of course there was one. So it could indicate that something with a friend, maybe a friend that was being overly stubborn about something, that Cancer is finally tired of and is full of, and it comes to an end at this time. So anyway, the next thing is the new moon will fall in Scorpio later on in November, I believe the 18th. So this could be a time for Cancer, given that the 5th house, of course, is what will be emphasized and highlighted. It could be a time for Cancer that something new maybe begins, maybe Scorpio-like, that can be a hobby or something of enjoyment. It could be, as I stated before, could even be going around with a metal detector, maybe solving some kind of mysteries. It could also be something connected. It could be astrology, the occult, supernatural, something that might also be very deep, something where something not superficial. Could even be maybe a romantic situation might develop for Cancer if unattached, and one, of course, that will have a lot of passion and intensity in it. It will not be superficial. So anyway, the next thing is, as far as November goes, Mercury will be in Scorpio from the 1st to the 5th, and the 5th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Cancer. So at this time, for Cancer, there could be a lot of deep communications and incisive communications, perhaps with romantic partners, with children at this time. It could be people that they're involved with some kind of hobby or creative endeavor with. It could also be that Cancer is being a little bit more probing at this time regarding matters pertaining to people in love and romance and children as well. and trying to get to the bottom of things, using a probing mind to detect subterfuge, perhaps with these people as well. So anyway, well, as far as November goes, Mercury will be in Sagittarius from the 5th to the 30th. And during this time, the 6th house, of course, is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Cancer. So at this time, Cancer might have be involved with a lot more, I guess you could say, maybe blunt, outspoken communications, perhaps with people in their workplace. It could be where really the veritable truth is spoken in a lot of instances, and also incorporating maybe a sense of humor and being more jocular in their daily routine, telling a lot of jokes, being able to take them as well from people that are in their daily routine, in their place of employment, and maybe even people in their health as well. And also, the mind might be about being expansive at this time and really focusing on things with a lot more exuberance and enthusiasm, and thinking in a more really upbeat manner in matters connected with their health and maybe their place of employment, and trying to see the positive in that. So anyway, well, the next thing is, as far as November goes, well, Venus will be in Libra from November, from the 1st to the 7th, and the 4th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Cancer. So for Cancer, well, this could be a time perhaps where, especially like say if Cancer is, doing something with homes such as in real estate, this could be a time to getting that fair payment on a home. This could also be a time about finding peace and tranquility in one's home life and the enjoyment of things that are balanced, maybe dispersing time evenly with family members. Could also be really about enjoyment and getting in touch with one's roots and in one's traditions as well. And especially if there's something artistic maybe connected with it. So anyway, well, the next thing is Venus will be in Scorpio as far as November goes, from the 7th to the 30th, and the 5th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Cancer. So at this time, there can be perhaps, Venus is about, is about what we enjoy. So there can be a strong enjoyment, perhaps, of doing some kind of deep research, maybe with children, perhaps with a romantic partner. It could be the enjoyment of something else, Scorpio-like, such as astrology, the occult, supernatural, maybe solving mysteries. It could be in doing so with a romantic partner, with children. It could be something too connected with a hobby as well, and maybe even making money from a hobby at this time, and doing so with a lot of that Scorpio-like passion and intensity, and a lot of this very strong focus. So anyway, well, as far as November goes, okay, Mars is still going to be in Libra, and the 4th house, of course, is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Cancer. So at this time, well, there might be some more contentious, acrimonious situations that may have been ongoing even before this month for Cancer, with people that are in their home life, their family circle, even people they feel close to home with. And really, there really could be, given that this is Libra though, this could be not necessarily like real, any physical confrontations or anything very strongly combative, but it can be connected with passive aggressive like behavior, and such as maybe, for example, people in your home and family life maybe not complying with you when you ask them something, and showing that kind of resistance in a way by not necessarily yelling at you or arguing a point in a loud manner, but in a way that's a little bit more subtle. So anyway, also be careful of more accidents in the home too, and really being impatient about things. It could be also a lot of balanced energy may be put into the home, such as doing restoration and also maybe energy put in getting in touch with one's roots, who they are at the core, and maybe even traditions. So anyway, well, the next thing is, okay, excuse me, Jupiter will still be in Scorpio. So the fifth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Cancer at this time. So this could be an enlargement, maybe of surreptitious behavior, maybe with children, perhaps with a romantic partner if applicable. This is also about making maybe a large change or transformation, maybe through something of a speculative nature and maybe a gambling situation. This could be too. Also, it could be some luck and fortune connected with doing something Scorpio-like, perhaps as something as a hobby or something of some kind of enjoyment, such as something with astrology, the occult, the supernatural. So these are some things to look at as far as that goes. Now, the next thing is, well, Saturn will be in Sagittarius. So the sixth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Cancer. So at this time, well, there can be some limitations and restrictions connected with one's health. It could be something Sagittarius-like, such as maybe something with the hamstring or the thighs. There also might be some more, maybe an older person, an older sagacious person or people may factor into one's outlook on their health, maybe in employment, and maybe even one's daily routine as well. So, and it's also about maybe taking more responsibility with one's health, and also into providing service for others, and doing so with that Sagittarius-like exuberance and enthusiasm. So anyway, well, the next thing is Uranus will still be in Aries. So the 10th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Cancer. So at this time for Cancer, there might be some, there might be some maybe rebellion going on in their career. Maybe too, there could be some a period maybe of ingenuity, maybe showing some kind, maybe doing something in their career connected with innovation, something pioneering. And it could also be too that there might be a lot of tumult and chaos in one's vocation, in one's career. Could also be too that maybe there might be some unanticipated changes connecting with the public image and maybe with the reputation as well. Maybe a father or somebody, an authority figure, might be showing some strong inventive prowess or ability, or might be acting in an unusual manner, something that you just think might be a little bit bizarre or strange as well. Well, as far as November goes, Neptune will be in Pisces, so the 9th house is going to be emphasized and highlighted for Cancer. So at this time, this could be a time where maybe Cancer is a little bit more confused than usual, maybe regarding matters with higher education. It could be too, in some isolated cases, that an in-law or a grandchild, if applicable, might be involved in some kind of drugs or alcohol use at this time. Also too, that this could be a time where there might be some delusion and deception, maybe in connection with in-laws or grandchildren, and even deluding oneself into maybe the wrong religion or something that might be self-deceptive in connection with the religion. And also too, maybe, the 9th house is also about traveling abroad in our long journeys, so it might be taking maybe a trip to learn more about something Neptune-like, such as the metaphysical, or maybe like a spiritual journey. So anyway, well, Pluto will still be in Capricorn, so the 7th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Cancer. So at this time, there may be perhaps, Pluto can, unlike Saturn, can be about obliteration and destruction. So relationships, there might be some that may be destroyed at this time for Cancer, but it doesn't mean, Pluto's also about rebirth, regeneration. So there may be some that might be some new relationships. When old ones go down, new ones may come up. And it could also be too, at this time, keep in mind that Pluto is about transformation as well. So there might be some transformation, maybe in connection, maybe with a significant other, or with a business partnership, maybe getting control in legal matters, having power and control in legal issues, or in dealing maybe with some open adversaries that are really that might be strongly about power and control, or having power and control in those issues. It could be the obliteration of those people as well. So anyway, well, and when I say obliteration, I'm not talking about death, of course. I'm talking about just winning a battle in court. For example, it doesn't mean in some cases, though, Pluto is about death. It could indicate in some cases, in isolated cases, a significant other could pass away, or somebody you're in a business partnership can pass away as well. So anyway, the next thing is, okay, the North Node is still going to be in Leo, of course, and this is a time, North Node could be about our future and destiny and what we're working towards. So being in Leo, this could be a time for Cancer to be taking pride and dignity in monetary matters, in their self-esteem, and how they feel about themselves, and doing so with a lot of this Leo pride. And really, it could be about being maybe a little bit more magnanimous and generous with one's funds at this time as well, for Leo, and showing, for Cancer, and in doing things too, as far as accumulation of resources, doing so with a little bit more extravagance than usual, perhaps, and really giving your as far as your self-esteem and self-worth, really having maybe more confidence in yourself, in self-assuredness, in really being, in having greater maybe self-esteem and self-worth as a result. So anyway, the Black Moon Lilith will be in Sagittarius as far as November goes. From the 1st to the 9th, and the 6th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Cancer. So at this time, well, for Cancer, this could be a time where maybe something is unveiled, maybe a health-related matter that maybe they didn't want to come out. It could be Sagittarius related, or it could just be something that might be very big and prodigious, because Sagittarius, of course, doesn't work on a small scale. In some isolated cases, if Cancer is involved in some kind of illegal gambling, and they're doing it in their workplace or something, this is a time where it has a little greater propensity to come out. So I'm just saying, in these isolated cases, I think this could be true. So anyway, well, the next thing is Black Moon Lilith will be in Capricorn as far as November goes, from the 9th to the 30th. And this could be something where, the 7th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Cancer. So at this time, there might be something that comes out, maybe in a business partner, or maybe a significant other. Maybe there's some tyrannical tendencies that might be unveiled at this time, or one of these people may be coming out, showing a very, pessimistic or despondent state, and it really surprises you. It could also be something with an open adversary that might be somebody connected with a government or something Capricorn, like such as in business, where somebody in authority working in some kind of management or politics, that might be unveiled at this time. So anyway, last but not least, Chiron will still be in Pisces at this time, and the 9th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Cancer. So at this time, well, we're talking about the 9th house, so there might be in some cases, there could be some wounds and some suffering connected with an in-law or a grandchild. Maybe, I mean, sometimes it could be drug, alcohol related. It could be something else with Pisces, such as the feet. Maybe it's connected with some kind of lethargy or being overly passive. It could be, too, about maybe being overly passive in one's philosophies and not speaking out, being too timid and submissive, and paying the consequences for not speaking out at those times. And also, in some cases, being beguiled or deceived in some kind of religious matter as well. So, I mean, this could, you know, self-deception could also be taking place. But keep in mind that Chiron is also about healing. So it could be, too, that Cancer at this time, using their sympathetic energy, they may be doing some healing with others through religion. And in doing so, maybe through religion, as one example, doing so with and really in having and through their philosophical outlook, doing so with a lot of this Pisces, like compassion and empathy, and maybe even doing showing this as well toward grandchildren, toward in-laws, or maybe even foreigners as well at this time. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for November 2017 Cancer Horoscope Forecast. Stay tuned next time, where I'll be giving you my November 2017 Leo Horoscope Forecast. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.